Afternoon. In today's video, I want to discuss a topic that is foundational because, as you have already noticed, the name of the channel is In Search of Purpose Today. And if part of your purpose involves self-esteem, which I assume it must, then we have to talk about one of the foundational principles that's going to be involved in feeling good about yourself, and that is honesty. What you're going to find is that it's such a foundational core if you think about it. And by the way, if you're not familiar with the channel, my name is Jack McAdory, and I'm 67 years old. Just encountered, I'll call it that, a stroke about, 4 months ago, and we're working our way back, so yay. However, the whole idea is to impart some of the wisdom that happens over those many decades. And one of them, or one of the parts of wisdom, is the benefits of being honest. And my journey with this, I think consciously, started when I was, I would say, well, we can do the math later, but it was around 1980, and I was in the fitness industry, and I had many employees, and I had management and all kinds of folks. And I found myself constantly trying to figure out what it was that they needed to hear from me. And it became incredibly hard and frustrating, and in my opinion, it wasn't producing the results because it was just kind of like an echo chamber. And I made a decision. I decided that I would simply tell my truth and see if anybody was left after that. See if I had friends left, see if I had coworkers left that would talk to me, and see if management didn't just flat out fire me for speaking the truth, period. And what happened actually amazed me because, and it might not be a surprise to you, but it was a surprise to me that not only did they not leave when they would ask my opinion about something, but when I would give it to them, in many cases I would qualify, I would ask them, do you really want to know? And they would say yes. And then I would tell them my absolute honest opinion about something. And invariably, because they had asked, and I didn't hold back, I wasn't trying to figure out if it was what they wanted to hear or not, it was just my opinion. And I was telling my truth. And my relationships got better. My work relationships went through the roof because one of the things that we had to do was we had to put down statistics on a daily basis about our activities. And instead of writing down what they were supposed to be, I actually wrote down what I did. If I was supposed to make 6 phone calls and I didn't make any, or I made 1, I wrote 0 or 1. And my management talked to me about that, and I said, look, I'm putting up huge numbers, and this is what I actually do every day. If you want to know what I'm doing, this is the absolute truth. You'll never have to wonder. This is what I do every day. And therefore, when I put up my numbers, amazingly, a lot of things changed. Actually, what I did was becoming codified because of the results. Over time, what ended up happening was I was absolutely trusted for my absolute honest opinion about anything that I was requested to ask about. Often the questions were somewhat challenging, and I would qualify, do you really want to know? And they would say yes, and I would tell them. And sometimes they would say, wow, that stung, but I know it was the truth, so I will listen, and I will take that information and use it. Now, if some of you are wondering, well, if I tell the truth about this, they're just going to never talk to me again. Okay, telling the truth tells more about the other person than in many cases it even does about you, because what's happening is you're speaking the truth, and then you get to watch and see what people do with it. Because it is the truth, you'll learn an awful lot about people by telling them your side of the story. It's quite amazing. You're going to find almost without exception that people respect you more, and because you're telling the truth, you respect yourself more. There are occasions where it's going to be a bit uncomfortable, especially if somebody wants to know something that is potentially not what they want to hear. And yet, by telling them your truth and what actually happened or your opinion about it, quite often those people will make a change. And they'll make a change based on the fact that you were telling them something that everybody else kind of went along with the program and said, oh yeah, you're doing just fine. And I might be telling them, maybe not. And that alone has made my relationships over the decades with my friends and people that were just getting to know me significantly better, significantly deeper, and faster, interestingly enough, because when you trust someone with the truth, they understand it. And they know they're being trusted. And it's up to them as to what they're going to do with that truth. So you're going to find that the people that you're dealing with on a life basis are really appreciating who you are and how you operate in the world. And I'll tell you about what I had to do with my children. Because when you're dealing with your children, people will say, well, what'd you tell them about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and things like that? And when they asked me about Santa Claus, I said, of course Santa's real. And you're looking right at him. And in fact, not only are you looking at Santa, but you are Santa, because Santa is a spirit of generosity, of abundance. And by being generous and abundant in your world with other people, that makes you Santa also. And my kids absolutely loved it. They loved me for it also, because I not only told them my truth, that Santa is a spirit, and in my opinion, that's true. However, I let them know that they are Santa also, because they have the ability to give and be generous. And that has worked out wonderfully well. In regard to other topics, I always spoke the age-appropriate truth. I mean, you don't need to go into graphic detail on things, but you can explain things to your kids in a very respectful way, because you're talking to them, not at them. You're not saying, no, so sorry, can't tell you that. You can explain what you can explain. And then you can explain where you're at with that. Just tell them that truth, and that'll be perfectly fine. So, I know this is kind of a short video, and it's going to be an opportunity to be able to kind of do some self-reflection. Are there areas, are there people in your life that you don't tell the truth to, that you kind of sugarcoat it? I'm going to suggest to you that you don't need to be unkind. However, if they have asked you for your opinion, give it to them. And do it, I guess you could say, unapologetically, but in reality, quite often I qualify things with, and I love you. There's always an and I love you, and it doesn't matter what your opinion is about this. It is what it is. You don't need to change for me. And I love you no matter what. And I've never, ever had a relationship go south because I told them the truth about anything. So, that's the thoughts for today. This is kind of a 4-part series. We'll be going through honesty, which was today. Then on the next video, we'll talk about kindness. And then we'll talk about gratitude. And then if we're going to add another one in there, it'll be about forgiveness. But in this beautiful season, right now it's December the 2nd, 2025, the date of this recording. And I'm just going to let you know that I love and appreciate every single one of you. And the truth of this is it's a beautiful time to be alive. So thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Jack McAdory. And if you like the content and you would like more content like this, please hit the like button and share this with anybody that you think that it would be useful for in a kind way. So have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one.